We're going to go and break down your writing to see which areas we can improve upon. So 50-50 on the rainbow. We'll watch the whole thing through before we go and start giving some advice. Nice tubes. Those are pretty cool rails to learn on. Uh, those rails are actually so low to the ground it becomes a little bit harder because you don't want your board to like flex and bend down on it. So we'll go and break down the whole thing. First, let's break down your form on this 50-50. Uh, what I don't like about this is your back foot. See how it's not fully on the rail here? It's going and needing to shift over after. That's a little bit sketchy. We don't really need that. This is a ride-on feature, so you just need to make sure that you're approaching the rail more squared. You're approaching on a little bit of an angle, this means, and that's why you're hitting on an angle. The only reason we can approach rails on angles normally is because we're then popping and we have airtime to change our board into straight. So on a ride-on feature, you have to approach it straight because you're just riding on. You don't have any airtime to come over. So here's a little jump. I like the movement of the legs, not too low. You probably could do a little bit smaller of a movement. Nice push off the tail. Good pop up. I am both feet at the same time, pretty much. That's a really good pop. The only thing you could do if you want to get it higher is a little less weight straight down in the middle of the foot, shift a little bit more to the back foot, and then rock your body a little more. So just doing more of a rock back to forward, put more flex on the board will give you a bit more pop. But that's a really good pop. I like that. Here, coming onto the rail, ride on feature. You're hitting the rails a little bit slow. A bit more speed would really help you. Rails are easier the faster you go. Obviously, you need to be comfortable, but when you're crawling onto a rail like this, it's going to be way harder to go and lock into the end. And then what I'd want to change here is how tall you are. See how both your legs are completely straight? This is because you don't want to go and slip backwards or slip forward, but how you actually want to ride rails is with a hinge in the hips, having the chest go forward and the legs go back. We'll demonstrate that in a little bit, but this straight over top of the board isn't giving you too much movement to work with. This is a lot closer. See how your upper body's tilted a little bit forward, legs a little bit more? I want to see you drop these legs a little bit more, put the body a little bit more forward to compensate, and that'll keep your center balance a little bit more over the balls of your feet. So this is a good position, using the right principles, staying stacked over your board, but you can go and let your chest come forward a little bit more and let your butt go down more in correlation, and that's going to give you more range of motion and more control. Because straight legs and a straight torso are actually really hard to shift. So for this front board here, you're in a very straight-legged position, and that's why you just have limited range of motion. And the other thing when you're completely straight with both legs is it makes it so your balance is set on both feet equally. You actually want your balance when you're trying to kick out your back leg to be onto your front foot because you're trying to just kick out one leg and have your board rotate over this foot. But if you go and try to do it when you're flat base, it's not going to go and actually, it's going to rotate your whole board together at that center balance point where we're really trying to just put our weight onto our front foot and kick our weight out. So for that, you just need a little bit more bend in your legs as well and a little bit more speed. So what I want to see from you is a little bit more speed hitting these features. Start hitting them a little bit faster and start playing around with the bend in your legs. See like right See here how you're able to just go and squat down, but you're still staying balanced? This is the same principles as a rail. As long as your chest comes down in correlation to your butt going back, your center mass will stay in the same place, letting you keep mobility. And see how this can get you power, let you shift through your hips, get that ollie going? It does the same thing for your board slides. So I want you to start doing 50-50s faster and starting to play with this range of motion, getting onto a rail with more bend, bending more when on it, and just trying to feel out your range of motion. Getting better at hitting the rails quicker and increasing your range of motion that you feel balance on the rail is going to be the best thing you can do to go and move your rails to the next level. So give that a go and let me know when you're ready for the next bit of feedback.